start. 2 plus. Now, from 1 of applause for her.
Èèyàn oníkun mẹ́ta.
Someone is into mathematics. Ìdíkúnlé làwà.
And your eyes.
I can't tell you, so I won't print it.
Really interested, and then on Monday people just started rushing, and then in return we too started rushing, and they've not stopped rushing up till today. So I apologize for changing without notice, sir. I hope you'll be able to adapt to this new arrangement. So ladies and gentlemen, children, please let's invite Professor Yinka Adeshino, Professor of Mathematics, to come and share with us something that's going to inspire our teaching and our learning of mathematics. The Dean of Science, Dean of Student Affairs, he knows how to handle children. If you know what is good for you, you will not make noise when he's talking. Because even when his eyes are closed, he knows what's going on. Am I telling lies, sir? So you will listen. Only ears should be open now, and your eyes. So please, Professor Ikadeshino. I didn't like that clap. It's not mathematical.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How are you doing this morning?
Fine, sir.
Okay, if you are happy, stand up and let's do a little exercise. Because you've been sitting down for long, right? Okay, who is going to lead us in the exercise? Okay, good one. Don't be snappy. The young shall grow. Okay? Let's start from for teachers. But here we have to adapt. It's what it is. So, the chairperson, Professor Dinka Ogula David, represented here by Dr. Obadoli. My Hogande, keynote address speaker, Professor Olu Degebe. The director, Institute of Education, Professor Mrs. Ajayi. My Hoga in the Arts, Professor Kiman. The head of the Department of Mathematics, ably represented by Professor Oloshunde, the Dr. Kehinde Emmanuel Abinekan, the organizer, Dr. PC Anyadike, other teachers here in presence, and our students. Let me start by congratulating everyone on the International Mathematics Day, which is today, 14th March 2024. Well, the PowerPoint, I was waiting for the PowerPoint to come up, but I don't know, maybe I will do a combination of doing it text tempo and looking at my phone. So, the title here is Mathematics is Fun, and Mathematics is for everyone. Changing deeply held beliefs about mathematics and its teaching and learning that handicap love for mathematics. Before I start, let me give you a very brief story. You know, the first woman I fell in love with was my primary school teacher. She is my daughter. She said, hey, it's not that kind of love. It's the love between the mother and his son. And that made me to, to embrace that when I grow up, I will be a teacher. So my dream was to be a primary school teacher that owns a Volkswagen Beetle. That was my dream. When we got to secondary school, I was born and bred in Lagos, in Ile-Ife. So I attended Consecrated Primary School. And then for secondary school, I attended Baptist Academy, a school founded in 1855. So when I go to the school, I fell in love with another teacher. Love between the mother and the son. So that time she was using a GL 504. And my dream then changed from being a primary school teacher to a secondary school teacher. When I go to the university, I did not fall in love with any teacher. But then, I made up my mind. We were in part 3 when the professor in Guru asked our class who wanted to be a teacher in God. I was the only one that always got himself. And he prayed for me. And when the opportunity of becoming a grade assistant then came, I took my delegated here to was supposed to attend that interview. That was in 1997. He is already, he wants to cross from education to science. And then, before I could agree with my late Oga, Professor Kuwate, it took a long time, because then I wanted to Japan to Britain. But later I changed my mind, and here we are today. The import of this introduction is to, highlight the role that teachers can play knowingly and unknowingly in the lives of the learners, of the students. So I want to appreciate all teachers that are here today. Let us clap for our teachers. Let's clap for our teachers. God will continue to bless you. And so, how many fingers are these? Okay? If you raise your two hands up, how many fingers are there? 10. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, we call them counting numbers. Is that okay?
Yes.
Now, let us do something. If you pick 1 and you had another number between 1 and 3, wait. Let's say 1 plus 1. 2. Is 2 between 1 to 10? Okay, let me write on the board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Can you see? Yes. Can you see?
Yes.
So, if I add 1 plus 1, what is that?
2.
Is that 2 between numbers 1 to 10?
Yes.
Excellent. If I had 2 plus 3, hello? If I had 2 plus 3, 5, is that number 5 between numbers 1 to 10?
Yes.
Excellent. If I subtract 2 from 3, 3 minus 2, 1, is it there?
Yes.
Don't forget that we are dealing with numbers from 1 to 10. If I subtract 3 from 5, what is that? 2. Is it from number 1 to 10?
Yes.
Excellent. If I subtract 5 from 2, it's impossible. Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
It is not impossible. Yes, please. Minus 3. Now, from 1 to 10, do we have the number minus 3?
No.
No. So, do not forget that I told you that those numbers from 1 to 10 are what? Counting numbers. There is no negative number there. So, when God created man, when he created Adam and Eve, as we are told, Adam had how many fingers? 10 fingers. So he started counting. 1 yam, 1 mango, 2 yams, 2 mangoes. Do you understand? Those are counting. But the problem of man started with that minus 3 that she mentioned. From 1 to 10 to 20 to 30 to 40, on and on like that, you have no minus. You have what? No negative. Is that okay? If you borrow me 10 naira and I return 6 naira, how much am I still owing you? 4 naira. So that 4 naira can be the negative for me. So that is how negative numbers came by. Let me just come down to your level. Negative numbers. So when you perform addition, when you add 2 numbers together, you want to see, like the example we are using, 1 to 10. Can you get it there? And when you subtract any numbers, can you get it from 1 to 10 or above 10? You know, in the counting numbers. If you cannot, if you get to the other side, then you have negative numbers. That is how this started. And then subsequent operations. We've talked about addition, we've talked about subtraction. Now multiplication. When you multiply 2 numbers together, the natural numbers start from 1 and you keep counting up to infinity, infinitely large numbers. You can count numbers from now till the world will end, if it ever ends. So when you perform multiplication, 2 multiplied by 1, 2. You are told that anything multiplied by 1, any number multiplied by 1 is what? Is that number. So 2 multiplied by 1, 5 multiplied by 1, 100 multiplied by 1, 100. Yes. So multiplication code. And if you multiply 2 numbers that are positive, you get what? A positive number. Now, 2 multiplied by 3 is what?
6.
Now, 2 multiplied by minus 3 is what? Minus 6. And the question is this: is minus 6 a counting number in the real world? It generalizes new formulas or methods based on similar patterns. So when you look at mathematics, you can call it a science of patterns. I used to tell people that there is nothing you ask me to come and talk about that I can't fit in, no matter how. Because what I will be looking for is a pattern in what I'm reading. And once I'm able to get it, then you can do so many. So when you have the skills, mathematics and skills, sky will be your beginning. So it is important that we encourage our students, even if they are going to humanities or non-science disciplines, that they should embrace mathematics. So, belief. In everyday language, the term belief is often used loosely and synonymously with the terms such as attitude, disposition, opinion, perception, philosophy, and values. And the beliefs. Hello? Sit down quietly. Let me tell you something. In those days, when I was in Form 4, we had a new teacher in Nigeria. Before then, we were taught by the Indians. And even the way we talk, Mr. Satis, 4AB plus 4AB equals to 8AB. You know, what is the AB? 4AB. 4AB plus 4AB equals to 8AB. And then he will tell you when 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals to 602. And you'll be wondering, that is 2 root 2. 2 root 2 plus 2 root 2 plus 2 root 2. You know? And then you want to go to the class for the form of 8. I also remember Ms. Joe, our education teacher. I mean, don't let me talk about what we used to do in secondary school. But we are like a thorn in the flesh of Ms. Joe. We like, you know, someone you are not used to white people teaching you in primary school. And secondly, when you go to secondary school, we have this friend, Sunday Bankoli, the first person that Indian will be, and take to that he enjoyed the woman beating him. So we will do something for the woman to beat us. That for the woman, you know? So, but for mathematics, there is this belief that mathematics is difficult. Mathematics is not difficult. So when we go to Form 4, we have this terrible mathematics teacher. We later became friends. In fact, when he's coming, we just go and play football. We won't be in the class. So later when we became friends, and I asked him, I told him, sir, you know you're a terrible mathematics teacher. He said he tried for us that he read printing technology from Yabate. And they had him to teach. So, you know, you can imagine when you have good mathematics teacher, then the graph drops. to 0. So, and the belief that mathematics is difficult has to do with teachers. When teachers fail to prepare for class, or when teachers are not competent to even teach such subjects, it makes life difficult for the students, and at the end, the students will say, oh, mathematics is difficult. But then you can get very good teachers that can break everything down, and you enjoy mathematics. Here today, I want to tell you that mathematics is not difficult. If you are finding it difficult, maybe your teacher is not explaining you very well, swallow yourself into books and start teaching yourself. So, there is that belief. And if you look at beliefs play a great role in mathematics learning and teaching. Once you believe that you don't know this subject, you may end up struggling with it. Or once you believe that I don't like this teacher, you may end up struggling in that teacher's teaching. Belief influence students' attitude towards learning, motivation, and persistence. Let's now scale it down to mathematics. And this goes to our teachers. Our teachers should have the belief to expect that all students can learn. In fact, when you ask a student 1 plus 1, and the student is struggling with that question, you have to be patient with such students, with the hope that every student can learn. Our teachers should maintain appropriate expectations that challenge all students. Our teachers must share their passion for teaching, and students too must share their passion for learning. Both teachers and students must regard all interactions as teaching and learning opportunities. And teachers should bring out the curiosity in our students when they are learning. And when they show such, let us encourage them. If I ask you this question, what is 1 divided by 0? Anything divided by 0 is what? Okay? 0 over any number is what? If you divide 0 by any number, it is what? 0. Clap for yourselves. If you divide any number by 0, it is what? That is no longer 0. You don't know. So, there was this way that we were teaching. And then we said, if you divide 8 by 0, then I wrote infinity. Infinity is like 8 sleeping. So I told him 0, that 8 divided by 0 is, I did not mention infinity, I just wrote it like this. And I asked him, now let me give you a simpler number than 8. 7 divided by 0, what is it? And the guy wrote 4. Everybody started laughing. I said, no, you can recognize the pattern. That when 8, that's my interpretation loosely. When 8 stands on 0, 8 sleeps. And when 7 stands on 0, 7 sleeps to become 4. he saw a pattern. So such students may be very good, though his answer was wrong. But he recognized that pattern. So we must bring that curiosity in our students, even when they make mistakes. You must also reason that, okay, this is what the student is thinking about. And then we now help him to reshape his thinking into the right path. Okay? Then, good time management skills that ensure coverage of syllabus. In schools, we call it lesson notes. You get your lesson notes from the scheme of work for that subject. And a good teacher must know how to manage time. It's a culture that when you know how to manage time, your students are also imbibing and learning from you how to manage time. You know, in the way they write their notes, in the way they do their exams and continuous assessment. So, time management, I won't go so much on that because of time. Then, efficient teaching techniques for better students' performance. Now, I have this, that, excuse me, efficient teaching techniques are the essential tools that can help teachers to make the students achieve success in the classroom. Students learn best when they actively participate in the learning process. That is when they are engaged and motivated to learn, and when they can build on their existing knowledge and understanding. Let me give you an example. But if you are efficient and effective, then you are a very good teacher. If one is an effective teacher, most likely you are efficient. If you are effective, you are efficient. But it does not necessarily mean that if you are efficient, that you are effective. But you have the chance to be one. So, when you are teaching, do not let your method be teacher-centered. Okay? It must be learner-centered. For you to teach effectively, to teach mathematics effectively, you can rely on the methods shown. Problem-solving methods, lecture method, questioning method, and discovery method. So I also talked about teacher-centered pedagogy and then learner-centered pedagogy. So, and the characteristics for the problem-based learning model, that your learning, that learning is student-centered, learning occurs in small student groups. You can group your students in such a way that you have those that are brilliant, average, and those that are below average in each of the groups. Teachers, you should act as facilitators or guides. Okay? I believe we can follow that. Then there is need for strict adherence to the scope of the syllabus. Do not teach students contents that are not in the syllabus. And then you should look at the way, because when syllabus are drawn, that okay, the first thing you teach a student, you introduce them, and gradually like that. Not that you come from behind, you pick another topic, after the first topic you start teaching them that you will go. In fact, you destroyed that learning process. And then, the following are the possible causes of non-coverage of syllabus. Maybe the teacher's workload is too much, and teachers are also not well paid. So the motivation may not be there. So, I want to ask one of our teachers that how do you handle difficult topics in mathematics? Now let us interact. I believe all of our teachers here teach mathematics in one way or the other. So which topic do you find students struggling with? And how do you overcome that? Any volunteer? Our teachers, perhaps our teachers are shy, or the students have no challenges in difficult topics. But I know. Yes, please come. Thank you. Let's appreciate Madam. Introduce yourself, your school.
My name is Mrs. Deboku. I'm from Divine School Limited. And the topic seems so difficult for the children, and the level of teaching is fraction. And now the leader handling that is by bringing instructional materials like orange, we divide it in the class so that they can have a better understanding of the technical.
Let's appreciate her. So, use of the instructional material. Yes, please.
My name is Olawoni Daniel. The aspects I want to talk about is the graphical quadratic equation using graphical method.
No, ask the question. That how do you handle difficult topics?
Alright, I use for the graphical aspect, there is a graph instructional material I took, because most teachers we always draw vertical and horizontal line on the board, but we have graph teacher's instrument and we use and demonstrate together.
But you don't use computer agent.
We use graph instead of drawing the line on the board. We have teachers graph to demonstrate, and students too we have the graph instead of students drawing in their notebook.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. So let me quickly mention why some students find some topics difficult. 1. Teachers' unfriendly introduction of the topics. 2. Teachers' lack of requisite knowledge in the subject. 3. Non-availability and no referral of the relevant materials. 4. Non-adherence to the sequence and arrangement of topics in the syllabus. 5. Unhelpful and or insufficient exercises and assignments given to students. And lastly, unfriendly academic environment. So, to overcome this, the teachers can use some novel strategies for improving better performance. 1. Motivating students to be enthusiastically receptive, indicate the usefulness of the topic, raising students' mathematical curiosity, usage of historical events, and then, you know, and so on, and then so forth. So, lastly, appropriate situations that cause cognitive conflict should be given consideration. Thus, integration of graphic, numerical, and symbolic approaches should be favored. Preparation of concise self-explanatory lecture notes that are rich in content by the teachers and students should be encouraged to be proactive. So, I think and I hope we can stitch all this together. If you are able to, then we will see that mathematics can indeed be a fun, and that mathematics is for everyone, because everywhere you go, you find mathematics. Thank you very much.
Let's put the hands together for Professor Ifemathsfest. Professor Ifemathsfest, thank you very much. From his lecture, he told us mathematics is fun. For those who understand it, mathematics is fun. I have issue with my mathematics teacher. And up till now, I'm still looking for that math teacher that taught me in secondary school. There is this always x raised to power 3 minus 4. Find x. That find x is still the problem I have with mathematics. But one basic thing is, if somebody who is from a typical Yoruba village taught you mathematics, forget it. We have 3 teachers that taught us mathematics in secondary school college of Ile-Ife. The first person that taught us mathematics, the woman, she's from India. So we love coming to class because of our language, just to come and catch fun. But after she left, they brought in one man from Calabar. You know, the language, when he's pronouncing things we don't really understand, but all we do is, yes. And you know, in class, those that are brilliant are always in the front seats, the semi-brilliant are always in the middle seat, but we are always at the back seat. So the man will now devise a way that once he comes to class, we'll ask questions. Once you raise your hand, we won't touch you. So we calculated that and understood that, oh, once you raise your hand, we won't come to you, we'll come to the next person. So once he asks a question, 3 minus Isaac, we now say, oh, don't worry, to the next person. The day I did mine was the day the man even now pointed to me. And I said, Isaac, and looking to the class, nobody was looking. The people give us the answer. Sir, I'm so sorry to tell you that I'm very sick. I only want to tell you I want to go home now, so I raise my answer. So please put your hands together for the Sunshine School for everybody. Mathematics is fun. I love mathematics. It's only a bit that I don't. I have a son who is into mathematics. So my son is doing well in mathematics. My daughter is doing well in mathematics. But for me, I am not destined to do well in mathematics. On this note, I'll be bringing somebody to the microphone. It's our own and very good one when it comes to solving mathematical issues. Nigeria is under mathematical problem. So we need the mathematical solution. So I'm bringing to the microphone somebody with a mathematical solution. Please put your hands up, Professor, to get to the microphone.
the chairperson, the Dean of Science, who spoke at a very short notice. His topic was changed, and yet he was delivered. Professor Adenikadesin, my boss, Professor Anajayi, that's my issue. So, he said I should go and sit down, I will sit down. That won't give me query. Then Dr. Adelegom. Dr. Adelegom, I'm sorry. You are most welcome, sir. The CEO, the chairman, board of, and the most important person in the Sunshine, Professor Shima Ayadeke. It's nice having you around. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, mine is a very short one. And I think my technical person, can you please beam me so we can follow together. My children, it's nice seeing you. Hi. Hello. You're welcome. And my colleague teachers, we are teachers together. Am I correct? So I'm a teacher anywhere and any day. And I'm proud to be a teacher.
Yes, sir.
So I want to welcome all of you to the house. Nice having you here. I'm featuring here to address teachers in particular. And the title of my own presentation is Learning Mathematics in a Digital World. Learning Mathematics in a Digital World. Actually, before I go into the core of that presentation, there are some truths we want to speak to, or mention, or discuss. And we are in a world that is digitalized. We are in a code-driven world where technology is now pervasive in all sectors. So teachers, please, as colleagues, let's talk to one another. But until there is a problem, we'll talk about the solution. Let me say this. The last speaker was talking about how people navigated through difficulty in mathematics. The MC spoke about the challenge in mathematics. I mean, that myself, I wasn't spared that trouble. Let me make a confession that will surprise you this afternoon. Do you want to hear that? I passed mathematics only twice in secondary school. Is that straight to you? I scored 72 first time in Form 1. I scored 72 mock in Form 5. That time we didn't have SS3. Can you imagine that? And I entered the university to study mathematics. First degree, second degree, pure mathematics. Before later, I started talking about education, and now I'm talking about ICT, computer education. So, when we talk about mathematics, if you are having issues, understand that your students, your pupils also may be having issues. You yourself also, in the past, distant or near, distant or recent, the one is payer of that challenge. Why is it that mathematics may not be funny? Number one is teachers' factor. I had bad teachers in the secondary school, very, very bad. One is very, very conspicuous in my memory. One is very, very key. And there's one of them that I remember every time. Tell me to go and bring a bad teacher of mathematics. I will rush and I will hold him. And I will present him and I will be correct. I'm not sure whether he's still living now. But you know the problem? If we teach the 3 arms, only 1 or 2 people will pass. From 3A, from 3B, from 3C. Only one person will pass mathematics. Answer me. Has he passed himself? No. He said he has failed. And I got to Form 4. I choose science. I will be coming from home. You know, I was a village boy. We will all be coming, migrating from the town to the school, moving around the same time. I mean, how many people will be dropped by their parents in those times? So many teachers, few of them are. Most of them have GA, like the teacher of consolidation. So we'll all be trekking. Then we'll now come in. You say, get there. That ought to be studying, to be reading Yoruba and is doing science in the front of everybody. Is it your father that said you should go and do science? Tell me now. So I will help you to go and tell you that you cannot do science. And you see, maybe you do science, so that you can be an engineer. He will speak like that publicly before everybody. And make me unhappy. He said I couldn't do science because I didn't know mathematics. He was very, very frustrated. That time he was an NCE holder. But he was brilliant. I give that to him. He was intelligent. Very brilliant. You know, when a teacher is intelligent, students know. Even now, in retrospect, I know that he was very, very intelligent. He knew mathematics, but he was a bad. He was so fortunate that we did not become classmates in the university. Because that's the mathematics that he said I didn't know. Why is that I didn't do science? I entered to study BSc mathematics in the early 80s university. And when I met him in the University of Lagos, there was this correspondence. Yes, he came to do mathematics education. I was in pure mathematics. And he graduated shortly, he got graduated before me. We would have been on the same set. I was a full-time student of pure mathematics. He was a mathematician part-time. We would have done the same convocation perhaps. But he didn't remember all those things he had done, all those things he had said. I didn't remind him. I only treated him with respect and treated him with equity. You know, there's more that teachers can do. But the problem today is, number one, the personality of the teacher. The problem with this teacher was the poor personality. A teacher is an influencer. Is a molder of destiny. Is a pace setter. A teacher determines a lot about the student's future and destiny. And so, when you find a teacher that is not only a mathematics, but much more a mathematics, because we are talking about mathematics now. So, you find an individual who will produce bad products. Many people have dropped out today because of bad teachers. And so, the personality of the teacher, then the method of teaching of the teachers. You know, today we have people teaching without professional preparation. And the teaching job is the most abused profession in Nigeria. Everybody and anybody can teach. And anybody can set up private schools. And so, if you are a pharmacist, you can't have, even if you're not a pharmacist, you cannot have a pharmaceutical shop. No matter no matter how prosperous or financially buoyant you are. I cannot now say I want to build a clinic, can I? I can't. But everybody can establish a private school. So we have people now teaching who are people that cannot really, they have no direction. Then let's be sincere. I won't dwell much on that, what our children are here. Many teachers of mathematics don't know mathematics themselves. And sometimes we want to do some workshop and we now say, I don't believe we don't talk about problem and not attempt the solution. Then our curriculum should be so designed as to accommodate the integration of digital tools. So that it is easy to still deploy digital tools based on the curriculum that we have. And teachers also need training on how it should be deployed. I've just told my HOD here that if he permits, the institute should be organized in training sessions for teachers of primary schools on one hand, of secondary school on the other hand, on how we want to integrate digital tools in the mathematics class. Thank you very much. So, what are the challenges that we may encounter? Number one, that's equipment-related obstacles. I've mentioned that in person. Number of devices, internet connections, outdated computers, internet repair, low bandwidth. Pedagogy-related obstacles. Teachers need appropriate skills, lack of appropriate digital content. Curriculum-related obstacles. That is, there is lack of pedagogical models for applying ICT in our curriculum, and attitude-related obstacles. There is this idea of teacher that you don't teach an old dog new trick. I've been teaching for a long time here now. It's not now we are learning computer or how to integrate ICT. So if we do away with that, attitude is not a problem. And it's not only with teachers, even parents. Because we need parental cooperation if we are to digitalize education at the level of primary school. For secondary schools, learners are independent. But for primary schools, they are parent dependent. Am I right? Yes. So then, parents also, the attitude of parents is key. And all of this together, if we bring them to bear and lay them on the table, and we provide the support that are needed, we are in the process. We don't get there with just a single leap. We are on the margin. We are in the progress of utilizing mathematics classroom, and we have better performance. Thank you very, very much.
I did not hear that round of applause. You must agree with me that you are very special people to have gained what you have gained this morning from the last speaker, my teacher and the teacher of teachers, Professor P.O. Jegede, and before him, the Dean, Faculty of Science, and Professor of Mathematics, Professor Ile-Ife. Please, a big round of applause for our speaker today. The owners of MC have fallen back on me. The MC is dividing himself into 3 different places today. And he thought he could juggle them, but he didn't do it mathematically. So he's gone on to another program. He rendered sincere apologies and promises to be with us fully this time next year.
I can't hear you, so I won't read the results. This side, good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, sir. My left, good afternoon to you all. Good afternoon, sir. A round of applause for yourselves. So, we pick the winners in an unusual way, or let me say in a unique way. Out of all the pupils from a particular school, the person who got the highest, who had the highest mark, will be the one to receive your award. I don't know if you understand me. It's going to be, it's like you have had the competition against yourself. So each school will have an award, and the award will go to the candidate in that school who has the highest score. Do you understand that? So I'll be calling the names now. Apex Ile-Ife College.
When you hear your school's name, clap for them in a way that clap will never end. You have the name here?
Apex Amin in GSS 2 had the highest mark. Let that person come up here for his answer. Southern College, Olawande Oluwabunmi.
Ahmed Aderomu Tahir. Emerald Jesuni Joy. Emerald. A round of applause for her. Ibikide Lawal Abolarin Abdulrahman. OAU Staff School. Abulele, pardon me for the way I'm calling this one, I didn't know. Abulele Dennis. Abulele Dennis, a round of applause for her. Primrose, Alabafe Denisa. Sunshine Ocean Primary School, Okuneye Elizabeth. KTRS, Oruma Bona. Divine, Adeyi, Andre, or Audrey, do you see your writing working? Good mathematician anyway. Zenith, there's only one person from that school. Adeyemi Success. Please, we are waiting for the remaining winners. Or is that all? Okay. Okay, that's all. A round of applause for yourselves. And always remember that mathematics is fun. And most things we do every day are mathematics. Do you understand that? A round of applause for me too. You can't clap for me, Adi.
Now, before we end up, Dr. Adinemo is going to ask these young body mathematicians we have here 2 questions in Yoruba, complete Yoruba, and you must answer in Yoruba, and the person who gets it will get another medal. 2 medals. 2 questions, 2 medals.
Yoruba. Because we want us to see and appreciate mathematics in our indigenous language. And then once you do that, you're able to visualize and then appreciate. So my first question, what kini angpe? But then if I were
No, you have a song. A song.
So this mo fẹ́ ya àwòrán lára àwọn àwòrán àbí ẹ̀yà tẹ́pẹrẹsẹ. Kí ni à ń pe orúkọ àwòrán tí mo yà bí eléyìí ní Yorùbá? Àwòrán tí mo yà kí là ń pè ní Yorùbá? Yorùbá. Èèyàn afẹ́pẹrẹsẹ ni ṣùgbọ́n ó ní orúkọ tí a ń pè é. Wọ́n pè ní triangle ṣùgbọ́n ṣe òyìnbó nìyẹn. Ó ní triangle mẹ́ta. Màá dáhùn. À ń pè ní èèyà onígun mẹ́ta. Igun èèyà onígun mẹ́ta. Where two lines meet, we call it an angle. So igun kìíní ni, igun kejì ni, igun kẹta nìyẹn èèyà onígun mẹ́ta. Màá tún béèrè ìbéèrè mìíràn. Kí ni à ń pè 24 ní èdè ní òǹkà Yorùbá 24. Ẹ bá mi pàtẹ́wọ́ fún onímẹ́rìnlélógún.
Ẹ̀rìnlélógún.
Yes. One for the audience so that I will. Let me go to this. Let me go to this side. You want? Okay, you want to go to this side. Let me go to this side so that let me come to this side. Tí a bá ń ṣe ìṣirò lédè Yorùbá, tí a bá wo a ti sọ nípa àwọn èèyà tí mo yà délé tí mo sọ pé èèyà onígun mẹ́ta. Kí ni à ń pè ṣùgbọ́n gbogbo ẹ̀ ìṣe
Ìṣe tó òyìnbó tó gba.
wọn ò gbà á torí pé mo sọ pé ó kó.
Ẹlòmíì náwó.
Èèyàn onígun mẹ́rin tó bára.
Ó gbìyànjú ẹ láti pàdé ọkùnrin. Èèyà àdọ́gba lójú onígun mẹ́rin. Ṣé mo fẹ́ square besides ipò ó dọ́gba lójú òun àti bíbọ̀d ṣùgbọ́n onígun mẹ́rin náà ni rectangle ṣùgbọ́n onígun mẹ́rin náà ni square onígun mẹ́rin náà ni rhombus àbí onígun mẹ́rin náà ni parallelogram ṣùgbọ́n àwọn onígun mẹ́rin tí kò láíláí kò bára mu ẹ ṣé ẹ bá mi pàdé ọ thank you so much please come on. God bless you.
A round of applause for them.
Yes.
Sorry, cannot take that one. Twisted.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Please, if you know that you are not that tall, please come.
Just snap it. Just snap it. A round of applause.
That could take all of us once. Staff to stand up. I don't know that if your headmistress is here, she has to leave the other thing. But please, I want you to give them a round of applause. Raise to power 10. Thank you very much, staff. You are welcome. And I think by now, the results of the Olympiad should help. Please let them see the results that are available. Now, please, I want to tell you a a secret about the test you did. Maths is what? Maths is? And maths is? You had fun doing the Olympiad, and almost everyone is going to be awarded for participating. We are waiting for the results to come in. They will soon be here. Just a few more minutes. Let me stop being MC and go and be coordinator.
It's an innovation.
Children, are you listening?
Yes.
Are you quiet?
Yes.
No, you're not.
Then, special thanks to Jagene Adesina, who will be thank you so much. Thank all the teachers who are here today. As I said, this is the beginning of other festivals that will follow. Each year, the festival will get bigger, get more organized in such a way that you are more and more involved. Because the previous speakers were saying this was for only teachers. They will organize in such a way that there will be a time teachers, there will be a time to get maximum benefit. Children, are children listening? Thank you. Well, most of the time, you get quiet and you listen. Hope that you learned something and more and more you get to enjoy doing it. May God bless us all as we go. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now, sit down, let us go, and we start from the back row. Don't push, don't rush. There's still time for us to enjoy ourselves. While the children move to the festival, teachers who registered for the workshops will move to the boardroom where we will hold our workshops. Maybe we should hold it here. Do we stay here? Teachers, we'll go to the boardroom. We'll move to the boardroom.
Enjoy your day. I think you must have the round of applause.
Hello children. Hello children. Yes, we have various times here now for you to visit, enjoy yourselves. When you have games you need to play, when you need to ask questions, you are not thinking like about what I do. So that when you just come here, you will just ask questions.
If your own is tallest one, I'll give you a big. Let me do that. Let me give them.
competition. Only competition. Competitor, fix something. Competitor, fix something. Look, this is competition. Compete. Compete, compete, compete. Compete, compete. I'm waiting for you.
That is one. Zero half. Now, it means half is what? 1 over 2. Another half, 1 over 2. Half plus the half gives me what? Which is... Now, if I remove just a portion out of that, and then yes, add copper, that is up there, add 1 to the other side. So that one is wrong. Add, start from here, 2 plus 8 to be there, write 0, keep 1, add the first
Don't let anything happen to the process.
You don't even know what you are doing.
Only one single wheel, you know you still be a bit heavy. But when you combine a lot of wheels, what happens? It will be lighter. So here is a combined pulley having 3 wheels. And this is I told you this hole, there must be a kind of...
What are you talking? Thank you. What did you say? 1,000. Kilo means 1,000. Kilo means what? Yeah. So 1,000 grams equals to 1 kilo.
Pray! Pray! Pray!
The computer will crunch the codes and give us the desired output. And you can see the teacher. The teacher has more time. You know that is, we all know the tedious, the marking script recording. Can we recollect script of the past 3 years? But with computer, it's a single click, you can get it back. All these things, teacher has more time to research. We have more time to use ourselves, to able to sit down, to be able to articulate, and to prepare well, adequately for the kids. That's one of the way the coding is helping. And that platform, which is an online test-based platform, which streamline assessment process for schools, is to make it easier for schools to conduct assessment, so that teachers and the educators as well can have more time to do evaluation. This is just a run-through of the platform. We have the admin section where they can view all users. The admin can add students, they can add teachers, their password, view the class results, also the test for students. We have the teacher section. Unlike this one, we still recognize as an issue of network in our country. So you don't have to be online. No, you prepare Microsoft Word. It's been everything done Microsoft Word. All you just need is when you need it, that if it's even 3D, copy, just upload, leave the rest. So you do everything in your Microsoft Word. There is a format you follow. But as I said, these are just empty boxes. They have rules in which they have to follow. So you have this, and if you have multiple tests, just upload everything at once and relax.
If it's 20, 100, he will just pick everything, just leave it. And before you know it, breaking of fire, it's done. And when it's time comes, you assign the test to particular class, you also see the result. When the student on their own, they can take any test that's active, they will see this, they can view, maybe the time has passed, they can always see it, but they won't be able to take it again. And the one they've completed, they can always record and see it. It eliminates the need for paperwork. Paper is getting expensive day by day. There might be a need for us to reduce paper costs and also contribute to the eco-friendly, by zero emission. In conclusion, today is just to admonish us as that we integrate coding education into our mathematics teaching, into our classroom instructions, so that we can empower the students to become creators, innovators, and problem solvers. Not only the student, we ourselves, we can't give what you don't have. If a teacher is not a creator, he will never produce a creative pupil. If you are not a problem solver, you will never. If it's same pattern, I just want to mention his own lecturer, which I'm not mentioning my lecturer, but I know one prof. I know one lecturer. He's a mister. At that time, that same paper, he will boldly tell us in the class, this is what my lecturer is to teach me in UI. Imagine Anaka himself and he himself, they hand it over to you. You say you cannot even still refine, and you still come and dictate for us in the class. If your teacher should teach you, I expect you, what is this over and over? When you are even speaking, it's supposed to be part of you. So meaning, that is why I cannot even remember, okay, I can't even remember the course code, but I know remember what he did. But there are some courses I can always remember because the way it is being taught. So we can always make the difference. We are educators, and most importantly, the parents. We are parents. Invested a lot in putting ourselves in private schools. Now the two efforts. Let's try to make a difference so that tomorrow the bride will be bright. So thank you all for joining me on this journey of exploration on discovery, and thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
I'm sure we have been inspired. I'm sure we have been challenged to make a difference. And I'm sure we are on the move to move with the rest of the world. Because as we proudly say, Nigeria will take last, and neither will we educators. Those of us who are members of NAPS, what's our slogan? NAPS. What's our slogan in NAPS? Nurturing for national development. So that's what we are doing. And if we want to be on par with the rest of the world, if we want our children to be at the helm of affairs with their contemporaries and not at the back, these are the things, this is the future. And it's pleasing that all of you chose this on seminar. So it means we're on the way. I want to leave questions to the end because the next seminar resource person came from out of the state, came all the way from Ondo, and he had a lot to prepare for us. He did not know we were here. He thought we had all gone. So he packed all his materials away. He had a very powerful PowerPoint presentation. I was actually about to take his leave, and I said, no, the seminar is going on. So he would just quickly go over it. And then, like I said in the hall, this is the beginning of regular things. So he said something about being creative, and his teacher from UI, who was using his own teacher, you can't do that. Things have to be different, you have to be creative. And that's part of what Ifemathsfest is all about. So this will be a continuous thing. We'll find a more comfortable time and call Dr. Dinegon back, because he is handling a golden egg. I don't know whether there's anyone here that's non-Yoruba. Is there a non-Yoruba person here? We're all Yoruba. And that's good. So that will make it easier. So we can reflect on what he has to offer us this afternoon. It's not for Yoruba alone, it's for all Nigerian languages. If you travel around the world, children learn in their own language first. The other language, English, French, German, is later on. You will not find young children who cannot speak their language. Now in Nigeria, we don't speak our language. One day in primary, two child was studying social studies. When you wake up in the morning, you kneel down and greet your mommy, kneel down and greet your daddy. The next day, the mommy goes to meet the teacher. Ah, oh my God, thank you. Oh. That's where we are now. They don't speak Yoruba, and along with our language, our culture is growing. And if you don't have culture, you cannot contend with people who do. Because with culture, you are rooted. Without it, you're just floating. So I hand the floor over to Dr. Ile-Ife to talk to us about Yoruba and Maths. We've learned that Maths is the foundation of all studies, and our language is who we are. So Dr. Ile-Ife, all right, thank you for your patience.
Thanks so much, Doctor, and I appreciate you all for the opportunity granted. I had immediately where I had to go outside and where I had my stand and was discussing with just held the microphone and was addressing the pupils and the secondary school students, a few teachers who were also the boys. I saw they were actually not, but I had to take me, move around and then for a few. So I was told that there's a bottle. So I went around, I asked a few staff who also were in Ifemathsfest. They said they don't know, maybe that everything is holding there. So I said, okay, there's no problem. I took my time, and when I felt it was already 2, and I said, let me pack. I need to go. So just to make that farewell, when I was told to leave, so what I packaged, I just sent that to her so that I won't again bothering. For what brought the genesis of me teaching, I started the YouTube last year. Because I went to a village, and in that village for a teaching practice, and the teacher on teaching practice exercise was struck 5. Either it is 0, it does not exist, or it is greater, and this is accurate. Everybody do like this. I said, this is angle on a straight line. I said, do like this. I said, but I will break my hand if I do like this. I said, I'm talking about an obtuse angle. I said, the way angle is symmetric. Oh yeah, wow, Basherio. And when I did all those things, the student clapped. I said, clap for the teacher, he has taught you. But when we finish, I said, come. I said, my rest is tough. I said, modulus, you cannot get. I said, you went to tailor to measure your skirt, and you now say your skirt is -5 inches. I said, it means. I said, your inches can. I said, it's either it is 0, but you don't have leg. You understand? One may not have arm, so of course the arm will be 0, 0. I said, well, it cannot be negative. I said, that is to say, hey, sir, thank you, sir, I don't know. So if I didn't come out, but I did not want to, otherwise they will, when they leave, when they come next time, they won't listen to me. So thank you so very much. Polish language before I can teach in the university, to take a job opportunity in Poland. So for you to know that they cherish their own language. So why will I, a Yoruba man, married to a Yoruba lady, and still be forcing myself to speak English in my own house? I said, it's not. My son will definitely know how to speak the English. Once he gets outside, let the person, a family devotion and everything, let us do that and speak our language. We got a dog, and my wife was speaking English. I said to dog, you are speaking English to dog. I called my dog Ojuere and speak Yoruba. I said, my dog is inside my house. I can't speak in English. I said, so now when we convey that, communication is when you pass an information and then when it comes outside. So we will have to see that when we use indigenous language, if you are an outside, you use Hausa. If you are Igbo, you speak Igbo. And when you use indigenous thing, what is around you? You use orange, you use stone, you use pebble. When you are using, maybe we talk pizza, you are using pizza as an example. How many people eat pizza here? Did I even hear P before sir when I was in primary school? But now you are using the example, foreign books that they talk about this and that, and then you are not talking about coconut. You are not using what when you talk about coconut, you will remember the backyard, you will remember those things, and let us bring it. And so the concept, what I have started teaching, I x-rayed the curriculum of primary and secondary school topic by topic, what they should be called in Yoruba, what instructional materials that we can use to teach. They are there on my YouTube. I started teaching concept. I brought in problem solving area and mathematics tricks where those things are taught in Yoruba. For example, if I want to teach circle geometry, teach what's it called? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Please kindly come outside. Please let's quickly demonstrate that. So we have to let them know what is circle, obiriko, triangle, onígun mẹ́rin, onígun dọ́gbadọ́gba, àádọ́gbalójú. When we talk about keyboard, and they be able to see, oya ẹmu ìṣánáwá o. Okay o. This is a keyboard. This is a cube. This is this. Now I say oya ẹfọwọ́ yín oya please run. Ta ló wà nú ọgbà mi ṣe ṣèrántí? Oya. Oya máa kọrin.
Báwa wò.
Ìwọ ló gbá ìwọ ló stop. Now hold your hand. Ṣé rí pé bá ṣe ń kọrin ta ṣe ń jó yìí. Àwọn ọmọ tẹ bá ń kọrin tẹ̀ ń jó bẹ́ẹ̀ àwọn ọmọ yẹn pé wọ́n ṣeré òṣùpá lálẹ́. Now mi ò kúrò láàrin ibi tí mo wà, isn't it? Yes. Now at the center. Bí wọ́n ṣe ń yí yẹn, ẹ sọ pé orí ìyípo wọ́n ṣe ń yí òun là ń pè ní circumference ìyípo àyípo ògiri. Now what do we call a diameter? Radius ní ìlàjì ògiri. Ẹ má sọ pé sáà. Ìgbà tẹ́ bá pín sí méjì ọgbàgbà, either he lives here or you move around again. Wait. As long as I have not changed, can you see the diameter is still the same? Now I want to bring the issue of pi. What is pi? Pi is the ratio of circumference with the diameter. As long as they are moving, T ìdajì ẹ̀. Ṣọ̀pẹ̀tẹ̀ mi ò bá ti kúrò níbí, and while they move, I remain, and each will be equidistant to each point. So when I decide to divide this side by this side, we have what we call the radius. Isn't it? Yes. And when you take the ratio of the circumference, okay, ó ṣe yí, ó yí lẹ́ẹ̀kínní, ó yí lẹ́ẹ̀kejì, ẹni á tún padà síbi tó wà, come back to that point. Talk about angle at a point. That's okay, 360 degrees. And when you now take the ratio, what is the ratio? What is pi? When we say pi is a constant. Pi, ratio of circumference with the diameter. Pé àgbé lórí. When you talk about division ní pípé the numerator and denominator. Pé 2 òru. Ara that one is index. Tá bá sọ pé èjì tó ru ẹ̀ta. We are talking about index 2 raised to power 3 òru. But why tó gbé lórí? Because that is different. Pé a fi èjì pín mẹ́ta. Ó yàtọ̀ sí a fi ẹ̀ta pín méjì. That is why division is not commutative. Now using that value tó máa fún wa, if we increase this by another 5, we add 5 to this, what happens? The circle increases. The diameter also increases at equal distance to each other. Please go back to yours. And when you now tell the child, but she get the pie, he will not get outside and call it fish pie, meat pie, egg pie, because he sees, he's able to visualize with and you move around. So when we use our mother tongue, so my teacher understands Yoruba very well. I need a teacher what the boy Yoruba dada. No, we use la cram, la pour, la forget. La cram, la pour, la forget. Once you cram for exam, you pour it. Doctor said it. Then she will pour it. If the thing is there, she will put it there. Then I forget. So you forget about it. So you get to part 2 again. What you have been taught in part 1. The curriculum is done in such a way. You need part 1 for part 2. You need primary 2 for primary 3. Somebody has forgotten because la cram, la pour, la forget. But let us use our indigenous language. Ẹ jẹ́ ká kọ́ wọn, ká fi ṣàlàyé, ká wá àwọn tó yí wa káàkiri ọsàn. Ó yá ẹ mú ìgbálẹ̀ wá, ẹ mú ilé wá. And once you do that, wọ́n lè wá dá igun ní, okay, this is why we call it igun. Why is it an angle? Kilo. And when you use that language, they feel at ease, they feel comfortable. And when, at the end of the day, you have seen research, even Professor Pafunwa did it. Those taught with indigenous language, and those you use the foreign language to come around and teach. If I go to Hausa and I begin to say, and you speak Minini, speak their own whatever. If you go to an Hausa man, you want to buy something from the Hausa, and you speak Hausa, the Hausa man feel at home. Now when I get there, when they speak world grammar, we still look at it, I say 50 naira, 50, you say 50, whatever, and you speak that. So let us just encourage that, and now it is only implementation that is the problem. Federal government has approved that we should use at primary and secondary school, that we should use indigenous, but the implementation is the problem. Now everybody, mommy want to send your child to where they will be to say, it's me that first come. If I want to Google, I want to Google, I want to do. Everybody want to send the child to where they will start speaking English. Say, me also. But where if we do that and you see the difference, that is why Chinese. My brother was talking about coding, talking about all those things. When I went to India, see small boy, what the boy did. And I felt when I went to UK for autograph training, I was looking like a Lucy. Because what those things they were using to teach application of geometry, cabin 3D, GeoGebra, I was looking and say, in our own place, we will say, how did we come about that? How did we come about this? And this way, all what primary school, secondary school, we already exposed. And in our higher institution, I only use throughout, I made a first class in mathematics, but I only use computer once. Entered into that lab the first time. The second time, we were put into group. I just say it will be highly suicidal. For me to come here without not touching computer, I said, please allow me to touch it. That computer there, very gigantic, very big like that. You have to begin to roll fan. Very big and heavy. If I carry it on my head like this, I will faint. Very big and to punch it, I said, please permit me to just punch the mouse. The mouse was so heavy like that and help me to punch it. So we went to the lab twice and I touched computer once. Not suicidal, and I had a first class. So for you to know the deficiency in the curriculum, in whatever, and at the end of the day, if we do not go, it will be like cram, la pour, la forget. And mathematics in Nigeria is the same thing in Ghana, it's the same thing. 1 + 1 is equal to 2 everywhere, every time. And mathematics is fun every time, everywhere, even beyond MTN. Thank you so much for the time, and I appreciate it. So please visit my YouTube. Yoruba mathematics class. Please just go to the YouTube. Yoruba mathematics class. Oh, yes. Yeah, this is it. Yoruba mathematics class. My coding brother will give you the slides. I made some slides, but because of the time. But we have so many things that we have displayed for some of those students who came around, were talking. So we had a I did up to million. Numbers in Yoruba, numbers, shapes, and all those things which I did. You will be able to read more about. I went to study animation so that to gain the attention of the student. I went to study animation. I paid heavily to get that. I got to India to learn that UK or autograph, to see that what all these things I will bring in and now start teaching that until we make mathematics to be real. Otherwise, it will be abstract, and when you come, tan theta over cos theta is equal to tan theta. At the end of the day, your student will be calling you tan theta. Tan theta is coming. What is that tan? What is this? Whatever. I went to teaching practice, and that boy he said, we have different types of angle, and that boy said, he said no. The angle can be between, what is an equitangle? I say angle between 0 and 90. He said no, the angle below 90. I say angle below 90 degrees. What about minus 10 degrees? He said yes, minus 10 degrees is an equitangle. So I try to use style to explain to the class, not derogating that teacher. You understand? Because when he was telling them, somebody asked and said minus, I said negative angle. I now say, please clap for your teacher. Even when she was wrong, when I explained the whole thing, I said, like your teacher said the other time, but an angle is a measure of distance between Mwani Igun Mwaso Yoruba pe Ewa fe wo. See, a teacher meets students. Yes, it's one of.
Oh, and the other hand.
Yes.
Please, all of us students, you come out. Come on. Let's record this. Okay, please. Let's snap them together. Yes.
So ensure you make me proud and also subscribe. So when you subscribe to the YouTube and share with others, it makes. And my contact is on the screen. I hope this will not reflect.
No, I reflect. Just shift. You can shift there.
That's so very important.
When it's made the real meanings of it in Nigeria. Like as evidence when I go to his office in Abuja. Whole of my life. So as a teacher, I steered away from mathematics, and I thought there was something wrong with his brain, that he wasn't made for maths. And just like Professor Jegede said, as teachers, sometimes we identify our children and put them in a compartment. Oh, this one is not maths, this one is not science, this one is art. Our educational system encourages it. The countries that the speaker, last but one speaker referred to, China, India, Russia, they don't do that. They start very young and they give the children a very broad base. So as they grow, the subject of mathematics becomes part of them. So you find them calculating, fixing things, putting their brain, maybe a small toy, Lego, maybe a coloring book, pencils, and they know that they can do whatever they want to do. They're not limited. With children, especially at the primary level and early secondary level, what's limiter for a struggling child is the teacher. We teachers, once we make up our mind that this child can't be good, we put a lid on it. Never put a lid on a child. I'm happy Professor Jegede referred to himself. He said he passed maths only twice. Once in Form 1 and once in Form 5. But what is he today? A professor of mathematics and a professor of computer mathematics, and a very good one and a very good teacher. He was lucky his future didn't get truncated because by bad teachers. He had that zeal to follow where his interest is. But how many of our children have that power to surmount the pronouncements we make? Now let's be honest, I want to confession time. I don't have a mic, I was planning to bring a mic. All my package, I just forgot it. Now, have you ever pronounced a student as not being good for maths? No, be honest. Never. How many years have you been teaching for? She's early. She's not been teaching for 3 years. You're lucky. You may never get to do that. Have you ever pronounced a student? Yes, or be honest. It's just us here now. Nobody else. Yes. If you can't answer, it means yes. Yes. You've never pronounced, and you're a maths teacher, and you have never told a student where Olimbo to be here. Please clap for her. They don't believe you, that's why they're not clapping. Honest, you have never pronounced a child minus. You have never made that mistake for one. There's no one like me that will frustrate. Once my teacher got so frustrated with me that he threw his bunch of keys at me. He just got to say I was a good sportswoman, so I dodged the keys. Never. Your children along with you. If a child, she says she has never said it, but in her mind she feels it. Children sense it. Children sense it. So you have to have an open mind for that child who is struggling, and know that if the right effort is made, that child will move on. Now, it was also mentioned that mathematics is abstract. You have to be thinking, it's not something like home economics, like you want to sew a dress, you cut your material, or you want to make fruit juice, you bring your banana, your apple, the blender, you blend it and you drink. Maths, you have to start calculating. We've been shown now that we don't have to do that. There are electronic ways of doing it. There are programs and packages. We should adopt them. Maths is not abstract. Maths is real. The display outside shows that maths is everywhere and all around us. So as teachers, let's not keep ourselves tied to the textbook. It's not about doing those exercises and passing the exams alone. It's about understanding, enjoying, and taking it beyond there. I don't know whether we are familiar with this man. He's Ifemathsfest. He's a Nigerian based in America now. He was, what's his full name? Philip Ifemathsfest. He said he did common entrance in Asaba like 5 or 6 times. And then in primary school, he was always failed. When he ended, he failed, and he also failed YA. But an uncle said for him to come and join him in the US. So he went to school in the US. He went and we took O levels in the US. And the way he was taught mathematics there was so exciting to him. He became the earliest, what was it he discovered? The computer language, that the modern day computer is. Yes, he's so famous. Check him out, Philip Ifemathsfest. Check him out online in the future. Now, I use him because this is a child, if he had remained at home, maybe he would have ended up being a organizer or a bricklayer. And the ironical thing is that to be a bricklayer or be an organizer, your maths has to be steady. If you don't know how to measure the sand and the cement and the water, you're done for. But nobody will put that into place. So don't carry your children along and push them up and make mathematics visible. Teaching aids, paper, cardboard, gum. We all know they're expensive. But if you go on to YouTube, I will share them with you. If you go to YouTube, there's so much is available for us. You'll find programs where it's old cartons. Old cartons. We have some here that are cut up into shapes, into sizes, used to make games. Cover of Coke, plastic covers, old plastic bottles. You cut them up, you make them into things for teaching, cut them into shapes, cut them into designs. Even all these A plus skinny gum, like this skinny gum plus this, there are ways of doing it. This is A, cardboard. This is A, and gum is expensive. It's just that Gary is also expensive. But Gary used to be a very good alternative for gum. But Gary too is out of reach now. But it will be good. But as a math teacher, you should never enter the class with just the textbook. You must go with something physical that removes the abstractness from math. You will see that a struggling student will be interested and want to come to your class. Usually it's boredom that disturbs a mind that is active and wants to do something. Then another problem we have with struggling students is we teachers in maths teaching to the test. We are teaching the children because we want them to pass exams. We are teaching the children, we want them to pass common entrance. We want them to pass junior YA. We want them to pass YA. We are not concerned about what goes in and stays in. As the last speaker said, he said you cram it, you will pour it, and then forget it. That was my life. But it's not like that anymore. Actually my first turnover for mathematics was when my own children started doing maths in school. The ones that were preparing for exams. I didn't like the idea of lesson, but I thought it was just too much. So I didn't let my children go for lessons. So I would teach them, and I had no problem with every other except for maths. So what I would do, in the night when they have gone to bed, I would take their test, GS1, GS3, and etc. I was so unfortunate that at one time
I had one doing GS1 and common entrance exam, another one doing junior WAEC, and the other one doing WAEC, and I was doing teacher at home for them. So I would go and take their books. I will read, I will look at the answers, I will calculate, so that I know it very well. And then I'll teach them, and they will understand and they'll be happy. They'll go to school, they'll get good marks. So at a point, I looked at it, I said, why was this thing so difficult for me in school? I digress a little bit from maths to chemistry. Maths, maths, physics, chemistry, they were sisters. Because I was so bad at maths. But I liked chemistry, although I didn't know it. But I liked it. And the day we were choosing subject, those that we used to choose in Form 4, I was entering the chemistry lab with my paper to sign. And my teacher said, that's my name. Father, go back. I said, I want to register. He said, go back. Go, my maths will finish chemistry. They go together. And I left, I never did chemistry. But that night, my daughter was reading, having a test, and part of what they taught was physical and chemical changes. I don't know why I didn't know that when I was in secondary school, but I read the book. And physical change, if I take this water bottle, I cut it, and then I remove this part, it has changed. One has become two. If I take gum and fix it back, it's okay. But I want to bake a cake. Crack the egg, put the sugar, put the fat, mix it. There's no way I can get egg back again. There's no way I can get sugar back. I sat down and I said, is that what I didn't understand when I was in secondary school? Chemical and physical change, as simple as that. It was the book that described it very well. In those days, we didn't used to buy textbooks. The teacher would teach from the textbook, and we would write notes. So I had a paper, I had that man that told me and told me to go. He was a bad teacher. He never related that thing in a way that I could understand. Let's not even go to physics and railway lines and velocity and things. It was the presentation. So you, the teacher, we move out from the book and teach for life. Don't teach for cramming, pouring, and forgetting. Because that's why we work for exam. Let's teach for life. Let's go beyond that point to making sure that this maths we're teaching is for ever, not for the moment that they're in school. It's not easy. It's a new way. And people won't appreciate it, especially your children's parents, because they won't understand what's going on. But I can assure you, if you lay a good foundation, 2-3 years after they've left you and moved to another level, and they work well on that foundation that you have laid, the children will tell their parents, it's what I did with Auntie in primary school, it's what I did with Uncle in primary school that allowed me to work as I am now. And that borders on our confidence as teachers. You have to be confident to make a change. You have to be confident enough to take a step. We're all here together. When this idea came up, let's have a maths festival, let's call other people and share. But maybe they didn't, until don't try it. And I almost decided not to try it. I said, why not? There must be other people who think like this. At the beginning, the response was horrible. Even people I expected to be excited were giving me reasons why they won't be part of it. But I said, I don't know everybody. Let's try it. Look at how many of us are here now. How many of us? Almost 30, if not up to 30. Be bold. Take a step. Lead the way. Look for the path that people don't take. Don't keep to the old-fashioned way. Don't struggle to fit in. Come out. Take a step. Educate yourselves. Be current and take risk. Sometimes you can fail, but you know inside you're doing the proper. It's not too long ago my children went for a competition and they came and they were last. And that last was not only last, it was 0 point at all. And I said to myself, but inside I knew these children don't have any problem. That one came like that. But when it comes to real tasks, those children will be solidly on the ground and they will do well. That's what it is with maths, especially because it's the foundation of all other things we will study. It's not easy, but it's doable. Do you want to do it? Huh? Yes.
Can we do it?
Yes.
It doesn't cost much. It just costs that determination and that interest. And then the last thing, most of us are teachers in private schools. The lady in the public school has gone, but most of us are teachers in private schools. Don't say to yourselves, Bamendo, I will soon move on. Yeah, you will soon move on. But leave a mark, a positive mark. The world moves like this. It's never a straight line. And what good you do always comes back to you in one way or the other. Thank you. So now, the one that you, this is what you are waiting for. It summarizes all we've done today. And it's loaded. So I think, do they need the password to follow?
Yeah,
okay. So this is a roundup our last topic for today. It's something you don't want to miss.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, sir.
My name is Ile-Ife, and I'll be taking us FETS interactive simulations. Before I proceed, I would like to emphasize the fact that FET was primarily designed for physics, and that was where the name came from, FET, which means physics, education, technology. But over the years, it has graduated into other science subjects, including mathematics. Generally, FET can be used for a whole lot of science subjects. Today, we'll just go through the introduction, how we can use it in the classroom to teach pupils. One good thing about it is that it can be slowed down. You can slow down FET. So, please let us switch on our laptops to use FET. We need to use FET simulations because of its high rate of engagement with pupils. It is hands-on. Let me add this. It's like a laboratory on the internet. Most of us may not have the luxury of having a laboratory in our school. Even if we do, we may not have all the equipment. But on FET, you know, it's a programmed site. Everything we need is already there. It keeps the cost down. We don't need to buy much. Just have a computer in the classroom and probably an internet connection, and you are good to go. It makes these topics interesting. Those subjects are not static subjects. You can't just, you know, the children we have these days, they are more of, let me call them visual learners. They don't, sometimes when we enter the class and you start writing, they are probably waiting for you to finish writing and move out of the class. They are not usually interested. This thing keeps them interested. Sometimes it even has some cartoon characters that stimulates their interest. Once they are stimulated with some of these things on the screen, and they see some people on the screen, they become energetic and encouraged to want to see what you have to offer them. By using these illustrations, being an animated platform, it shows a dynamic process that can be slowed down. I've talked about this before. So, without wasting much time, I want us to go into the practical proper. I don't want to do too much talking. It's more of a practical thing. If I talk for hours and we don't practicalize anything, I don't think I will be able to say we have gained something. We need to do some of these things right here. And then probably in our next lessons in our various schools, we incorporate it into, and you can pause it, depending on the speed of the learner, as well as the nature of the topic we are talking about. So it's very flexible. You can kind of tell each child to move at their own pace, unlike in our textbooks. Do 1 to 10. If you don't finish 1 to 10 under 30 minutes, whoever does only 10 gets 10 over, maybe whoever does only 5 out of 10 gets 5 over 10. That doesn't mean that person who didn't finish is better, I mean, it's not as good as the person who is, so that the conditions were not right. So today, we'll go through some FET simulations. Like I've said, it has all the topics in most of the subjects. There is no way to go through everything in just one workshop. Subsequently, we might still need to see each other again to keep ourselves updated. So, the agenda today is to check how we can introduce faith in the classroom and motivate the pupils. We are going to do some free explorations. The site we'll be using today is a free site. Anybody can log on onto it from anywhere and use it to teach pupils. You can even share links with pupils to practice at home on their free time. So we will also, I don't know if we'll be permitted to do that. We would like to have a report from every one of us about what we have done today. This report will give us the feedback we need in subsequent workshops. We mean something that has two sides that are equal. But in mathematics, one side may have something missing that you need to use to balance the other side. This is going to show a kind of animated way to solve equations, which will enhance better understanding. Please, have you not opened to permit me to exit from here? So you can click on it to still have, especially people who have not been using it before. That place is a place that kind of gives you a guide. There's even a PDF file there that you can download and then read about that particular topic at your free time. That's if you cannot read it at that time. So if you click on teaching resources, you see a lot of things under it. Teacher tips. You see, I said you need to register to have access to some features. This is one of the features. If I log in my account now, my name, it will, the features will be there. It will tell me what and what I need to do as a teacher in order for me to teach this thing effectively. You can do it on your phone too. It's just that the feed of view is very small. You can't do that now, man, but you can do it later. If it is not balanced, you will see one part being elevated than the other part. That will enable, a young learner, that will enable that child to know, oh, this part is not yet equal to this part. Then the child can no longer do that in their classrooms. So I feel we are behind. This time the time we are using to tell the child to be turning protractor about, to drop by child, it has been used to do other meaningful things. Why would you be doing that when it can be done with a software? So I see some of these things as time wasting. But unfortunately,